And it says we are live. I'm here. You're beautiful. It's Thursday. Actually, it's Wednesday night. That must mean it's time for GotBot Goes live. I told you last week that this week was going to be on a special night because I actually have responsibilities with my day job tomorrow. And just by the time the day is done and I get home, it'll be really too close to showtime for me to be able to do it justice with as long of a day as what tomorrow will be. So we're doing it tonight. Better than missing it. Fun fact, since starting the show, have shifted things, have never ever missed a week with you guys. Make of that whatever you will. So tonight we're obviously going to talk about TFCon. We're going to talk about Missing Link. We're going to talk about something between Hasbro and EB Games. We'll see. We will talk a little bit about Haslab, about Missing Link, about what else? The soccer ball lad, Cyber World, and even the little NFL monstructor. But before we kind of do that, we are going to take a moment of silence. We should have done this a couple of weeks ago. I try to do this. I miss a lot of these because it's not really my thing per se. But we're going to do a moment of silence for Yuki Maeda. For those of you who don't know her work, she had a 30-year career. A lot of voices in Transformers. She was in Japan. I think like Carlos from Armada at some point. Sally. I feel like maybe even RC. And she was the true voice of Alpha Q there. She passed away on the 9th of March. She had a malignant sarcoma. She was 52 years old. All right, so let's get going. Let's see who's here, and then we'll kind of get right into the news. Hey, Francis. I don't know what sort of turnout we'll have tonight where it's not on the regular night and stuff, too. Hey, Celestial. Hey, Ash. Marcus. Hey, Jersey Shore. Hey, Daryl. Big M. Okay, so how about we get going? Let's not waste any time. We're going to start with YOLO Park. Hold on. We're going to start with YOLO Park, at least a little YOLO Park. With these guys, this is YOLO Park Minis, the AMK Minis. This is the Secret Edition Shattered Glass Rodimus and Blue Streak. This is for like the pre-orders. This is wave 2. First come, first serve. 2-pack. I mean, not much to say other than to see these. I mean, it's YOLO Park, so again, even being the minis, they're still going to have decent details, certainly nice sculpting and paint. This obviously a Shattered Glass Rodimus. Great looking Blue Streak. Honestly, I really like what they've done there with the Datsun. I don't know if there's a Prowl or not. There probably is, but great little mold there for the Datsun. I'm a bit surprised they went with the red thighs. I kind of thought they might go with gray thighs because sometimes you see them do that too. But I'm glad they went with the red thighs. Looks good. I like that they went with the gray arms though. He looks splendid. I mean, he looks like you would expect him to look. Wing on or fin, I guess, on back. I mean, they look good, right? I don't know how big the AMK minis are, though. I was hoping that was going to be here because I don't remember. If you know, somebody let me know. Of course, the 2-pack, $29.99. These are pretty small, right? Because they're mini, obviously. We had my sign tip over. Holy Moses. Come on, sign. Stay up. I'm skeptical of you, sign. Why is my sign? You know what? Hold on. I got to fix my sign. I don't know why it's doing that tonight. Weird. Let's see if that works. Weird, though. That's not right, but it might still work. I don't know what's happening back there behind me tonight. Let's let's go on. There you go. That's the joy of being live, right? Anything can happen when you're live. That's true. We'll go all the way down here. I mean, I think this is really cool. Like I go camping, that's something that we enjoy doing. So like a headlamp, very common for us. I got nothing against Earth Spark. Not a huge fan of B, but come on. I mean, if you're going to have someone literally light your darkest hour, it might as well be a transformer that's a light. Looks good to me. I don't know. I don't know how much light this actually. I'm watching you sign. I don't know how or banner. I don't know how much light this actually gives off, but like it's cute for novelty. If it gives off a lot of light, neat. I mean, it's always hard to tell how good this stuff is actually going to work until you get it in hand, really. And I also said we need this for the house. What a party you could have! Autobot symbols everywhere, different colors all over. I mean, it looks like a party. It looks like a party. I think we've all seen these projection light things. Either you grew up with them, or you had kids who had them, or you knew people who had kids who had them. Decepticon one as well, pretty cool. I think I really actually prefer the Decepticon one. I think it looks really cool. Don't tell Starscream wife that that's the one I prefer, though. So Galaxy Toys, don't really know them, doing Mini O2, Micromaster Scale Optimus Prime, and several color variants. So here are all the Optimi, and I was trying to figure out what they were. We have Nemesis, we have the White Ultra Magnus repaint, we have Shatterglass up front, Toxitron back here. Then behind Toxitron, I wonder what this was. I think this is their sleep mode version. They're dead Optimus because his body's gray, but the blue legs and blue head really throw it off for me. I think there's also somewhere back here a clear version, or translucent, I should say. That's them in truck mode. For some reason, the windows on the like dead Optimus look bigger to me than the others. I don't know why. It's really weird and off-putting. There you go. I mean, little Micromaster Optimus. I mean, the dude got ankle tilt, elbows, head rotation. What more could you really want, I guess that's supposed to be like dead Optimus, but like you can't stop his legs from dancing. I don't know. I have no idea why his legs are still blue. I do like the Shattered Glass. I think the Shattered Glass one turned out well. It's too bad that they got blue in the chest instead of the like kind of yellowy, orangey that he sort of has there. Like lemon orange lemon, something like that. But like sun, there you go, colored like the sun. But the blue looks good. It's not quite accurate, but it looks all right. Absolutely love the look of the truck, the purple truck, brilliant. Nemesis is exactly what you would expect Nemesis to be and want him to be. Scary black truck with a red blood red windshield. By the way, looking at ideas for customizing my trailer to go with my Nemesis, and kind of put out a very rough mock-up to patrons and channel members to kind of elicit some of their thoughts and ideas. Some pretty interesting ideas came back. Toxitron. So if you've been waiting for that trailer, it's coming eventually. Toxitron looks good. It's not the right Optimus for it. It should be the G2 Optimus with the shoulder pylons and stuff, but I mean, it's colored as accurate as you're going to make the G1 look to be Toxitron. Magnus is what Magnus always is, a white one. But I thought, yeah, there you go. There you go. There's the translucent lad. And it also gives you an idea of how big it is. I mean, it's not very big. They say Micromaster scale, but I'm thinking it's a little bigger than Micromasters. I'm thinking it is really more like Legend scale than Micromaster scale. I mean, I don't know how big Bro's hand is. Mine's not very big, but I think it's bigger than a Micromaster. I think it's a Legends. Maybe a big Micromaster. It's just I saw this and I thought feel like that's a little bigger than Micromaster. Maybe it is still smaller than Legend scale, but it's, I don't know. Like I'm looking at maybe it is Micromaster. I don't know. I do like the look of it. For what they're able to pull off for such a diminutive size class is impressive. It really is. I always find these weird. Everybody complains so much about the whole translucent plastic thing, and then they do full ones like this because they sell so well because people love them. I don't get people. I don't understand humans at all. Puppy dogs, man, that's where it's at. But yeah, I mean, posable, articulated, transformable. Oh yeah, and there's a bump of chicken one too. That's what this is supposed to homage, that bump of chicken weird colored Earthrise Optimus. And this is every bit as strange as that was. I forgot there was a version that colored as well. I suppose you could get all of them if you're so inclined, but up to you. Up to you. But they're tiny little Optimi if you like tiny little Optimi. In the US, the Deluxe Retro Wheelie and Outback have come out. They're in Canada and the US, so they're out in North America. There you go. That's the easiest way to say it. 3.0 was at TFCon LA, and they showed off some products. Specifically, I want to make sure now that I read this through here right. They're M Deluxe. They should have Cliff Jumper, Optimus, Ramjet, Shatterglass Sideswipe, Stepper, Shockwave, and Toxitron. Toxitron, I believe, is an exclusive to ages 3 and up in North America and Toy Dojo, I guess, globally. Also at their deluxe level, which is a little bit higher and a little bit bigger, their Bumblebee Shockwave, their Cybertronian Bumblebee mode, Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movie, and Sound Blaster and Ravage, not Sound Wave, Sound Blaster and Ravage, which I think is and Jazz, which I think is all very interesting. So let's take a run through the images here. This is obviously the bigger deluxe because it's the movie one. Looks very much like movie Shockwave, by the way, even though I think this is just a grayscale yet. Obviously, it's not purple. I'm pretty sure this is the M Deluxe Shockwave. Doesn't look as good as I would expect from this company. I don't like that. There's something about the flared arms and the flared shoulders, and the shoulders look too out of proportion to the chest and the bicep to me. I don't know. It's not a Shockwave for me. And he has 2 hands. It's just too weird. The Optimus, I guess it's Shockwave from Skybound, and I'm not familiar with Shockwave and Skybound, to be fair. I'm guessing that because of Cliff Jumper here and Optimus, of course, with the Megatron arm. I don't know if all of this is meant to be Dreamwave, or not Dreamwave, Skybound inspired or not. Here, of course, we have the Shattered Glass Lad, Stepper. Ramjet looks really good, but we've seen the other cone heads. I think we knew Ramjet was certainly coming. Right? Like, I feel like these 3 at least are probably Skybound inspired. And I'm sure they're good quality. It's just I'm not struck on that body styling for Shockwave. The neck looks too long to me. The biceps need to be bigger. The lower leg looks too engorged for the thigh. Like, it looks very almost like animated proportions to me with him. Not that that's bad, but I'm just saying. This I do think is cool. Sound Blaster with Ravage. Great looking traditional like G1E Ravage. The black on the Soundwave looks really cool too. Bumblebee movie Bumblebee in his Cybertronian mode. The Stepper again looks great. Shattered Glass Boy. Sound Blastering Boy. I mean, again, they don't transform. Oh, and Jazz, of course. Jazz looks really good. Jazz looks really, really good. Some have said he seems a little wide-legged, and maybe he is. But, man, it's hard to argue with the quality on this guy. It really is. Yeah, I mean, they don't transform, but obviously the love, the detail, the quality, the displayability, the playability is all there. No doubt about it, right? So strong presence at TFCon LA, we'll revisit that in a few minutes. Worth noting, we had the in-hand video Evan for the Liokaiser guys. I'm going to kind of run through this kind of sort of quick. So he unboxed it fairly quickly and kind of took everything out. We started off with a look at all of them here. We started off with Liokaiser. Liokaiser, very minimalistic transformation. I did feel like, though, in hand, he felt like he looked bigger than a deluxe to me. Like when I compare him to my deluxe custom Liokaiser, I feel like that this looked bigger in hand than the one that I have. I could be wrong, but that's what I felt like. I do appreciate this. One thing that bugs me is the waist rotation is really just below the chest. And if you have the chest minion in, he kind of loses the waist rotation. I think that's a real shame. I'm glad he has wrist rotation. I'm disappointed that there's no flap or something to cover the wrist on the guy. Chest minion, very simple. I do like that it can go on the display stand. Big honking legs. I would have liked to have seen more of the full range of motion of the articulation. Right? And that can kind of give you the idea of how he is. Now, he did go through some of it, but like he didn't seem to give it a full range. He just gave it a little wiggle and said he has that, right? Did stick in Decepticon logos despite the chest minions. I like that. And the little chest minion. I mean, it's fine. It's simple. The planes kind of all transform the same. Very much what you would expect with the legs, you know, going up over the thighs and the arms being by the side and stuff. No huge shock, I don't think. Same with the chest minion and whatnot. You will notice that he and Guy Hawk and Death Cobra all have this ab crunch, I guess we'll call it. That's to help with their arm mode. So that's actually kind of cool that they got that. But like when you look here, like the waist rotation is right here. So if you have the chest minion in, it might knock off. Like I said, bit of a bummer there. They talked about how he had to be L-Bat because they couldn't get the Hellbat trademark or whatever. I do like his chest minion, worked out very nicely. Guy Hawk, same, literally the exact same transformation and stuff. Does the same things. I mean, Hawk chest, Hawk breast, whatever you want to call them. They're just fine. I'm going to go down here because I don't need to see all of that because that's not really what I was going for here. He looks good. I do have to say that his tail fin and his rotors are going to be a bit of a nuisance, and he has a huge backpack. But that said, he had the same thing in the animation. It's accurate. There are times here where Evan talked about going animation or toy accuracy and chose animation. He'll always choose animation, he said, especially when we get to the tank lads and how like the treads like actually fold out of the way on Drillhorn, for example, right? Again, looks good. You can put the rotor on his arm if you want, or you can leave it on the back. The tail is down. It does give you a third stabilizing leg, and it is animation accurate, so I can't fault it. When I see the chest minion, the way it transforms, of course, is very simple, but it's you look at that and it's really Slitherfang from Earthrise downscaled. That's all it really is Slitherfang downscaled, right? Same thing, really. And why not? Great design. I have a custom Death Cobra, and that's exactly what I use for his chest minion. Jaguar, he does have the hips and thighs attached to him for vehicle mode as like a missile pod thing. You can, of course, leave it there, and it looks fine because he does have this big missile thing in the animation. But you can also take it off, and it looks fine as well, right? The little missile pods here, they can go like on the hips, I think, in combined mode, or naturally you can put them with the like combined blaster or whatever, like they're supposed to be. His transformation super simple. With the big tires here on the side, I really wish we had seen the full range of motion. I don't know how obtrusive they might be. I do know the waist here is better, so you should be able to turn the waist and not knock off the chest minion, which is nice. He talked about having to give in on some of the accuracy, I think, on the chest minion because of their unpaintable plastic, which is, again, you know my feeling on that. It is paintable. It's just the cheap crap that Hasbro uses ain't that great. Drill horn, again, very simple transformation. Chunky, honking chunky legs. I think a better range of motion than I thought, but man, it is rough when you do that knee. Real rough. The arms, splendid articulation. Thank goodness they can go all the way out. Really, really impressed with that. Again, his chest minion, very straightforward, as you would expect. All of them are like that, right? And when we go down to Kill Bison, much the same sort of thing. Yeah, like those missile things on Jaruga or Jaguar, they combine with Kill Bison's like turret to be like his blaster, like Liokaiser's blaster. Great looking tank, great looking Kill Bison. When you take that off, he transforms fine. You turn these on the side, same range of motion and whatnot. Surprised that it's as successful as it is because of the way the legs are, and they're so big. They're so big, but like it's better than I thought it was going to be. I'll say that. So they went down, they showed all them. They showed them off next to each other. They'd done the combination. Combination, for the most part, pretty easy. Combining Jaruga and Liokaiser. I don't know. That feels like it has the most points. It might be the biggest pain, if you want to call it that. It's not a pain, but I think it might be the biggest pain. Then you put on the shoulder lad. That's this using Death Cobra on the shoulder is severely going to hinder articulation on that side. Otherwise, the articulation is good. The wings of Leozak get out of the way for that forward motion. The arms can really go pretty much all the way out to the side. I would have liked to have seen full splits more. I would have liked to have seen the depth of the knee and stuff a bit more than what we saw. You can see him here with, Death Source and with Star Saber. I mean, he fits in about where he should. He and Star Saber have a pretty epic battle. The base is pretty cool, but again, like even when they show like the arm articulation and stuff, like they never do too much with the legs. Like this is probably the most dynamic you see the legs. So I would really like to see a little bit more there. I assume those tires can get out of the way. I would just be more comfortable knowing that they can get out of the way all the way, right? I mean, I don't know. I wish that Evan had, like, I wish he had pushed it out more. Like, is that as far as it could go? Because I don't really know for sure. And I didn't feel like he like pressed it a bit. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I like what I saw. I'm glad I saw this. But do I necessarily think it's going to be better than my custom? I'm not sold on that yet. I'm really not. But the more I watch this, the more I'm like, I understand why you would do it as a box set. I get it, because anyone collecting this would want all 7 members and the chest minions. I understand that. Do I think it had to be Haslab? No, I don't think it had to be Haslab. But I do understand why it would be, to their eyes, a pain in the neck to like dole this guy out individually. I don't agree with that. I think you could have done a chess partner and a member and done it at a deluxe price for all of them, and you'd have been golden, right? Maybe for Jaruga, you would have had to even charge a leader. I'll even give Jaruga a leader, not because he deserves it, but because he does have the pants and the waist and the hips, right? He's thick too. He's thick in through. YOLO Park. They're Optimus. I mean, look at the detail. You can see it there. We often talk about this with this company, but it always bears repeating because I don't know why these guys always wear gloves, but sure, okay. I guess oils and stuff, I suppose. I mean, how can you argue with this detail? How can you argue with the paint? I mean, there's a reason that these are as popular as what they are, and there's a reason that they're as renowned as what they are. Like gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. All of the detail, the paint, the sculpt, the LED. Like, look at that. It looks like it could be right from the screen. It really, really does. Like, this makes me want to follow Optimus Prime's leadership. It's that good. It's just that good. We'll go back to those slides in a moment. 3-0 again. They showed off for M Deluxe. We talked about this earlier. We talked about 3-0 being at TFCon. They showed off their M Deluxe Toxitron. This is the one that I was saying is the exclusive. New head. Very Toxitron-y head. Again, you didn't give him the shoulder pylons, but I suppose painting the smokestacks is your way of trying to fake it till you make it. He's not bad. You know, as I have that one gripe, that one criticism, he is not bad. This is a good looking Toxitron with the greens and the purples. Yeah, it's a good looking Toxitron. I think the thing that saves it though is the fact that it's not a straight up Optimus Prime head sculpt. It's an obvious Toxitron head sculpt. I think that's to his benefit. We'll go back to the slides in a minute. I just want to see what else is on here. I already mentioned this. So we're going to go into the slides, but I'm going to check in with you guys before I go through the slides here. Sorry, right there. Let's just check in with you guys a little bit, see what you've been saying. I think it was around here where I left off. I managed to pick up some of the Blocky's Galaxy 8 packs at Walmart. Got Sludge Shrapnel. War? You mean, nah? And 2 of the Hot Rods. Sadly, no Unicron head. Can't win them all, my man. Maybe next time. I actually like YOLO Park a lot. You're not alone. You are not alone. Hey, Mark. I don't know what that says. I wish I could read that. Let me go down here a little bit. The sign is rebellious. The sign is rebellious. The sign is rebellious. It is. I don't know why it doesn't want to stay stood up tonight. Gotta step away, folks. Not sure if I'll be back before the show is over. If not, have a good one. Take care, Daryl. Maybe Delta Magnus. Maybe. Speaking of Magnus, now I want the Siege Magnus as a call into 01 Magnus. I mean, I can see the argument for it. The alt mode is obviously 01 Magnus, so get it then. I don't imagine it's that hard to find. Weird that he's more gray, though. The banners heralding the coming of Unicron, you probably. Anyone else saw brand new day trailer? I don't know. I didn't. Siege Magnus isn't bad. I agree. Crayola Prime is back. You gotta be talking about the Bumper Chicken one, yeah. Colorless Prime. It's such a ridiculous color scheme. Bumper Chicken Prime reminds me of the tiny TF Prime Optimus you could get from the Toys R Us in Japan. Yes. Wasn't that like the Jeffrey Prime? Isn't that what they called that? I thought the same thing, honestly. Good news is no one is scrap here in the gold state. Just hope an arc is built for us to launch soon if needed because I had a dream of that. That's a weird dream to have. Um, I know I'm skipping stuff here, so you gotta bear with me. Liokaiser looks imperfect but fun. Still waiting for the official full combination from for Omega Prime though. What do you mean the official? Why are you saying it like official with the air quotes? Well, they're actual quotes, but I think you mean them as air quotes. I don't know, Blue, who you lost, but condolences, I guess. Um, I must have missed that comment. The unpaintable really should be used on a premium. Oh, really shouldn't be used on a premium made product like this. I agree. Absolutely agree. Staying inside because it's cold outside. And you know what? It was a beautiful day here today. I went to work this morning. I was like, man, it's nice and warm, light shirt and stuff on. Got out at the end of the day. It was freezing. And it's even colder now tonight. Um, Crayola Prime. Speaking of wacky colors, hello, Action Master Thundercracker. Yeah, very much. About as wacky as it gets. All right. Speaking of Thundercracker, let's begin to go through. Metagate is really where we begin. TLK Drift in green, which is an interesting take for sure. He looks great. He is not a triple changer, but he does look good. That's obviously his car mode. Robot mode, great looking drift in green. Stylized, but I'm not hating it. Right? Great head sculpt for, for as good as that head sculpt gets. And I say that because it's always like a little much, right? We have Rising Force. Hold on, just in case I lose my place. We have Rising Force and Rising Force showing off their Bruticus, their Fall of Cybertron Bruticus. He stands about the height of mainline combiners. So if you don't like the Combiner Wars Bruticus, if you didn't like the 2012, 2013 official Fall of Cybertron Bruticus, if you didn't or don't like the upcoming Age of the Primes Bruticus, maybe this guy is your Bruticus, man. It's grayscale there, but I mean, oh, sorry. I mean, it's grayscale here, but like that, those vehicles are obviously Fall of Cybertron. I mean, he looks cohesive. He looks good. He looks real good, even in grayscale. Looks pretty dynamic. I mean, maybe it's the way to go. Maybe it's the way to go. Robot Toys, they showed off their Primal, their Transmetal Primal, by the way, one that you don't often see. Even in like Legacy, we got the like first way he was, and we've had in Power of the Primes the um, Optimal Optimus, but like we don't really get much of the Transmetal Optimus. So that's kind of cool. I don't know the scale of that, but I'm thinking in MP because they did show off their MP Waspinator, and that looks beautiful and hideous in hand. I mean, that looks terrifying, but look at the size of that stinger. It looks terrifying, but it's wonderful at the same time. I don't know how crazy the transformation is, but I'm thinking bonkers. I mean, what a beautiful Waspinator. Really, though. Like, really, though. A beautiful. He's obviously big. That's the Legacy Tarantulas he's like holding there. So you can see how much bigger he is. I don't think there's an official Waspinator, but man, you can't tell me that this guy cannot stand in any MP Wars display. He sure looks like he can to me. Like, fits right in if you ask me. Even with that big butt. Right? So he's much larger. You can see him there. He's a big boy, right? I do like this too. I like this feature. He's blowing apart, walking back on his hand, right? The chibi about us is by Steel Kitty Party, I think. Steel Kitty Party? I don't know. It's a little chibi Abominus. I'm assuming this is going to be a little chibi Manosaur. Dreamstar Toys. They showed off their version of Scavenger. Scavenger. Look at that green. Pretty darn stylized. But when you see the tractor mode, you're like, yes, okay, that's Scavenger. Like normally Scavenger doesn't have treads on his shoulders, right? It's usually his legs. And his legs are usually purple. So yes, this is definitely quite stylized. But they're Scavenger, right? You look at that, you're like, there you go. That makes sense. They also showed, and that's him as an arm. Like, bulky arm. Bulky arm. Not a bad arm, but a bulky arm. That green is real stylized. I don't think there's enough purple in there. We'll see. And Brawl. Their version of Brawl looks real cool. A little bit busy, but looks real cool. Nice tease there. DX9. They showed off their, they were just named with 4 minis. I don't really know what's what here. I'm not going to lie. I don't know how big this Ginrai is. But they're all called mini, so I'm thinking these are fairly small, right? And we don't actually have official names to them. And of course, you see some of them here like blacked out and stuff, so it's hard to say. Dr.wu showed off flywheels here. Looks real nice. Real nice. That's the tank. That's the plane. I mean, it's flywheels, man. And of course, next to Battle Trap looks splendid. Great General Toys. They showed off their Ultra Magnus. Obviously, I want to say IDW with those big shoulder pylons. How could you not think IDW? I think that's what it is. If I'm wrong, someone can correct me. I'm thinking IDW. Big, hefty, meaty Magnus. Meaty Magnus. That's what this guy is. He is Meaty Magnus. Great General Toys. Good for you for making Meaty Ultra Magnus. I'd love to see the full-on color version of this. Look at that Magnus hammer. Holy smokes. I'd really like to see the full-on color version of that. O1 Studio, back again. We know Primus. We know Unicron. Well, this time around, it's Broadside. And I've seen people handle him. He looks pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I need something this big for my Broadside. I'm not one of these people that feels like this should be a Titan or anything. So I don't think it's the Broadside for me, but it might be for you. Very G1 accurate. Very, very nice. Smooth lines. Flat panels. It is very, very beautiful. No doubt about it. Magic Square doing their Technobots. Yeah. So here we have Lightspeed. Very clean Lightspeed. Again, all this is just gray modeling at this point, right? This is Afterburner. Really nice Afterburner, actually. Nose cone. Looking very nose cone. Strafe. And of course, Scattershot. Love the robot mode of Scattershot. Really, really like it. The cannon there on his back. I mean, look at that plane. The G1 fields are big here, buddy. Real big. As is this mode. That tank base anti-aircraft. There you go. Anti-aircraft thing. Like, yeah, buddy. Yeah. And of course, combined. Look how beautiful Computron is. My favorite combiner. He looks gorgeous. I'm not an MP guy, but man, do I like that. I gotta say. Here you see some color samples. I mean, they're still obviously in the test shot stage, but you get the feel. They're pretty good. DNA Design, not to be outshone, showed off what we looked at last week here with Onyx and the upgrade kit for him. We talked about this last week, so I'm really not going to revisit it now. It's a good kit. I don't know how necessary it is. We also talked about this Transformers 1 Starscream stuff. The changes are minimal, but I think the changes are worthwhile. And they also showed off this. It turns animated Optimus Prime basically into Ginrai. God Ginrai at that. A nice kit. If I had this Optimus, I think this might be the kit I would want. I really, really dig it, I must say. It's very cool. And look at the cool trailer you get out of it. They got a few really neat kits for this, but this very much makes the whole thing look very God Bomber-esque. Nice armor form. A nice way to do like a God Ginrai out of that. I gotta say, very creative by DNA Design. I must give them credit where credit is due. New Age showed off the Wreck-Gar. We've talked about him too. Brilliant little Wreck-Gar, little, teeny tiny, legendsy Wreck-Gar, but looks the part. Looks the part very, very nicely. Super well articulated. Great motorcycle mode. Nice paint. Look at the yellow on the tires. Hard to do yellow. They nail it every time. They're next to Magnus. You can see what his scale is like if you know their Magnus. Fans Hobby was also there. And of course, they showed off Falcon, who they call a Trigger Man. We talked about him last week. He was the exclusive to round out the Predators. Great looking group. Really, really, really nice group. And of course, they can combine. They also showed off their Armada Jetfire. Thank you very much. Looks very, very nice. More blue on him than I expected, to be honest with you. I think I don't know. I think I expected more gray. I think I expected gray where the blue is, but whatever. I'm fine with it. I think it looks good. Fantastic model. Isn't Fantastic Model Fans Toys? Like, I saw this and I was like, oh, this is still a thing? Because, like, it's Fans Toys, right? You can call it Fantastic Model, and they're doing the Datsuns. Like, there's Blue Streak. Or maybe that was Prowl. Yeah, maybe that's Prowl. Blue Streak. Hard to tell when they're grayscale like this. That's obviously Prowl. Of course, with the Lambo boys. There you go. There's their smoke screen over here. Right? I mean, they look like the Datsuns. They look good. If you're not happy with the Hasbro ones, I guess get them. But honestly, I reviewed the Blue Streak many, many moons ago. And I'm not an MP guy, but even I was like, yeah, this is good. This is good. Actually, and that was a KO. So I was like, the real one's probably even better. Foot looks kind of hollow down here to me a bit, though. Not bad, just I don't know. I don't know if they were needed. Maybe they're needed. Maybe you see this and like it, but maybe you missed out on the original MPs. I think they're all going to get re-released in MPG with like tweaked colors and stuff. But what do I know? Fans Toys. That's what I mean. So Fantastic Model or whatever is doing the Datsuns, but isn't that Fans Toys? And Fans Toys proper is doing Computron as well. This is obviously Strafe. I don't like Fans Toys, so this does not impress me. Yeah, it looks good, but I know that to do the transformation stuff would be a pain in the neck. Nose cone. Fine enough nose cone, I guess, if you're into Fans Toys. If that's your thing. Looks very nose coney, you know? I kind of prefer this look to this look. But I get why they do it. That's where the foot is going, right? Fine leg. I give credit where credit is due. Fine leg. Always interesting how they build in the thigh like that. MMC. Yeah, MMC was in the house. And they showed off a few things. They showed off their long haul, which looks good. Again, this OX. I like. Is this going to be an Ox design or is this their MP? I'm not sure. I think it's their MP, to be honest with you. Great looking long haul design, though. This is Adder Beta, I think this is. Is this Adder Beta? It might be. Yeah, Adder Beta. I don't know if this is the actual thing or just their own design. It looks very much to me like Deadlock, or, well, I guess before it became Drift, right? That's what it looks like to me. Then, of course, you got this one. This is one of like the Laserbeak lads. Solar and Ratbat. The cassettes have been very popular. And finally, this. I like this. Super Ginrai is what they're calling it, but I mean, it's obviously God Ginrai. I don't know, though, if it's just the God Bomber or if it's like all of this, much like that add-on kit from DNA Design, just goes over the Optimus body and just makes it super size, even though it looks like God size. So I'm not sure. It's reformatted, so I would think that it would fit in with the main line. But I'd like to see more of this, and I'd like to see a scale comparison. But I love MMC. I have no doubt whatever this is going to be good. I zero doubt in my mind that it's solid. Zero doubt in my mind that it's well made. But I don't know if it's just a trailer and a companion piece. And that's all from TFCon. Now you know why I wanted to check in with you guys before we did that. And go back here. I'm going to go down. I'm going to check in with you guys again. Because I know there was a lot there, and I want to see what you guys had to say about that. Let's see. Got to go down to maybe about here. Nope, down a bit further than that, actually. Paintable shouldn't be used in something like this. I read that. Wednesday, they tried to get me. Hey, Al. Hey, Teeth. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Hey, T-Dog. I didn't try to get you. I told you guys last week it was going to be Wednesday. I envy you. Quinn. It's going to be hot here in California, but it's not too hot inside. It's mild warm for me. Right on. Oh, no. I always feel a bit off seeing Toxitron using G1 Optimus body. He's supposed to be based on the Laser Prime RID Scourge. Absolutely, he is. Let's see as we go down here a bit. Crayola Prime. Maybe the green is a prototype. I guess it could be a prototype. Let's see. Got heads up. I saw an Anya figure. The last I was at Ross. I don't know what an Anya is. Yesterday was the voice of War for Cybertron's Silverbolt's birthday. I didn't know that. Yeah, Ginrai with a question mark. Francis, I think that's yes. Ginrai. It's a Ginrai. Like, I feel like the Ginrai, and we've seen a couple of Ginrais tonight, and I feel like both of them are, yeah, I see what you're doing, but because like we saw the animated one and then we saw the MMC one, right? Big meaty Magnus, Big E, yes. I was waiting for somebody to kind of get that. I was almost going to say big meaty robots hitting other big meaty robots. But if you don't know Big E, you're not going to get the reference. Shout out to Big E. Gotta love that guy. Looks like a really nice broadside. It does look like a nice broadside. I agree. Computron is my favorite Autobot combiner. See, I get that. DNA's really working this animated Prime mold. They really are, but what they're doing is interesting, though. Really depends on what figures you have and what you want to improve on. I really like the kit for Transformers 1 Optimus Megatron and the kit for Scorponok with the blaster. Absolutely. You like, sometimes I see them though, and I'm like, you really need this kit. Like when I got the kit to go with my Power of the Primes Optimal Optimus, it literally gave him the items he needed to do the mode that he was missing, right? So I thought it was necessary. It wasn't just an upgrade, it was necessary. I even think, though I didn't get it, I even think to get the proper head and whatnot, the kit for the Legacy or Legacy Evolution Transmetal 2 Megatron, I think that was a necessary one. Some of the Combiner Wars, some of the Titan class ones, I mean, some of those, yes, absolutely. So yeah, you're right. Sometimes it depends and it's iffy called. Sometimes I've been like, I don't know what they're making this for. But sometimes I do feel like they're very, you really do need this kit to complete it. Hey, felon. No, you didn't skip a day. I'm working my job tomorrow evening. Or at least late enough that it'll be too late to be here on time and in proper form. I also got G1 Beachcomber the other day. Nice. I love G1 Beachcomber. Actually, you know what? I don't think I've ever really encountered a Beachcomber that I don't like. I always find something to like about Beachcomber. Last year, everyone was making a Devastator. This year, everyone's making a Computron. Yep, that's what I was thinking too. MMC Alter Beta is Deadlock. Okay, so then it makes sense. I missed this week's... What? No, you didn't miss this week's stream. Almost. Let's see here. All right. Okay. Let's kind of keep going here. Dr.wu, they showed off this week. What? They showed off their pterosaur, their triceratops. It's going to be Swoop, and it's going to be Slug, Slag, whatever. I mean, that's what it's going to be. I mean, it's not much to see here because it's really just images. But we know that this is where Dr. Wu is headed. I'm sure before too long we will see the real deal because they usually follow that stuff up pretty quickly, probably by next week. Going up here again, we have some in-hand images of the U.S. Soccer Federation's. This guy. This is better than what I saw last week. I still think the proportions on the lower legs are really bad, but I think the upper body is a lot better than I was giving it credit for. And I get it. I mean, you're turning from a sphere to a robot, but I mean, you've seen O1 Studio Cell and their Primus, right? You'd never say there's a circle there. I think I'd feel better if something had collapsed maybe a little more on the leg. But I'm not angry about it. I'm not invested in this. I'm not getting it. I'm not interested in it, but if you are, like, cool. I think it's better than I initially gave it credit for. So, I stand corrected. Certainly well articulated, which is very nice. Saw this guy on the shelf the week. Again, I don't need it. I have the anime version one, but I'm not going to lie. If I didn't have that one, I was 100% in on this. Seeing it, knowing I already have the animated animation accurate one, that anime accurate one, I look at this and I'm like, okay, DNA design. Make a Matrix Buster. Even if it's intended for this guy, I'll still get it to use with mine. It'll be fine. Also, please repaint this as a Nemesis big convoy because I will 100% buy it then. 100%. Very impressed just seeing it in package. I mean, yeah, that's cool. I got nothing against this guy. All right, let's get it here. How's the unruly? Still pretty unruly behind me. Cyber World episodes 23, 24. They're up if you're so inclined. I already talked about that stuff being out. Oh, also in Canada at EB Games, the NFL helmets are out. They seem to be out in the US as well. And speaking of EB Games, if you are in Canada and you are following Hasbro's socials and EB Games website itself, there's actually a countdown clock. And it says something exciting is coming. And it says Hasbro plus EB Games. And there's a countdown clock to April 1st. I don't know what this is. Speculation in talking to some people that work for EB Games is that it may be an announcement how, with the closure of Toys R Us, that the previously Target exclusive items will probably become EB Games exclusive here, which would give them the Walgreens exclusives, the Target exclusives. So they would kind of cover all of the exclusives except for the things that are Walmart exclusives. I think that's what it could be. I don't think it's going to be as exciting as they're trying to build it up to be, but we'll see. When I know what it is on April the 1st, I'll let you guys know as well. Interesting. There's a countdown, whatever that countdown means for EB Games. We'll see. We'll go back to this in a moment. Dr.wu did show off, of course, their flywheels. And, of course, the color variant for flywheels. If you want it as like a slam dance coloration. I guess it's neat if you want it that way. Or shattered glass. There you go. That's why he's like the slam dance colors, because that's shattered glass flywheels. But I don't need to go through them because we already saw those in the slides. Okay. And then this. I mean, this is for the online orders, obviously. And like, I'm so torn. There's a part of me that wants this, but like, I reviewed the Volcanicus. And like, yeah, okay, it was cute. It was all right. But its articulation wasn't great. Its solidity wasn't wonderful. I can't really see how an ankle tilt would work on this without splitting the leg. I know that you can put in hands and there's a wrist rotation. Like, I don't know. There's a part of me that, like, I want a Monstructor. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm so happy that I have the Fans Project proper Dino King with the shells. So I only have a passing interest in Monstructor because Dino King was in the show. Monstructor was in the comics. So it doesn't speak to me the same, but I wouldn't mind having a version of him, which is why I've considered the core class. Don't get me wrong, if I could get the Fans Project, I would. But the core class is all right. They don't have elbows, yeah, you're right. I'd like to know how I would feel about the combined mode. I love the look of it. I just don't know if I like it enough to actually want to be in on it. I really don't, because I wasn't blown away by the other ones. It was all right. It's fairly solid. I almost need to go back and watch my Volcanicus review because I really don't remember. Or maybe watch one of the Dino King reviews because I haven't watched that. Maybe that would tell me. So I'm not sure if I'm getting this yet. I don't know. Plus, as a combiner, like who would it battle? Who Legends class? I don't even know really who it would battle. So I don't know. We'll see. He's such a menacing, like he's where Dread and Doom live. Like, why is he the smallest of them all? You know? Anyway, I guess we'll see as time goes on. And that, my friends, is the news. So let's do the trivia. I'm going to see what you guys are saying. We'll do the unboxing, get out of here. The trivia tonight. Man, there was a lot of news. TFCon. Whew. I'm always glad that I had a day early because I knew that TFCon was going to be a lot. Okay, here we go. Had Transformers Animated Season 4 happened, who would have replaced Prowl as a series regular? Was it going to be A, Cup, B, Wheeljack, C, Jazz, or D, Warpath? Who was going to replace Prowl had there been a season 4 of animated? Cup, Wheeljack, Jazz, or Warpath? I'll give you guys a minute with that. Let's go up here a little bit and see what you guys were saying. Let's see. Who's only there? One Shall Stand, Optimus, Blue, yeah, but still a Megatron. Is someone going to design a new Transformers Death's Head? I doubt it. I mean, I feel like the stand-in for Death's Head is, quite frankly, the Marvel Legends. That's the Death's Head that I got now, is the Marvel Legends Death's Head. And, I mean, it stands in as a pretty good Voyager size. I'm not going to lie. And he's really great. He really is. I wouldn't get those, not even on discount. I don't know what you're talking about there, but the One Shall Stand stuff, yeah, I don't think it's for me either. Missed last week's stream. Oh, yeah. Well, you can't win them all, man. Let's see. My Walmart was selling Retro Brown for $11 on clearance. You know what? Same thing here. $11 on clearance. And they had a whole lot of wind chargers. They were selling the Brawn and the Sea Spray $11 on clearance, actually. My closest Walmart is notorious for not giving Chug. What? Just Swapticons. That's terrible. DNA is doing the Matrix Buster. I'd heard that they were doing a Matrix Buster for the new lad. I'm sure it's a redesign and not the one that they had before. But I haven't seen an actual announcement of it. I just saw like that blacked out picture. So it's one of those like, I'd feel better if I actually saw it. I feel like the only thing I'd have a concern about, honestly, with it not being quite as compatible, would be where the hoses would go. It probably wouldn't fit mine as it would be designed to fit the new one, right? But like, I could live with that. I'd be cool with that. I can find a way to work around that. I make my own or something if I had to. Or if DNA Design was smart, what they would do is go back to their previous version of it and say, hey, how can we just adapt this to make sure it works with the new one? I'm just saying. It's very easy to work around because really they already have the idea and they already have a great design for it. It didn't get the support last time, but buddy, I really hope it happens this time because I really, really want that DNA Design version. Really do. That's one of those examples of a kit where I feel like to complete Big Convoy, you really need the Matrix Buster. I also guess that a problem would be having the Matrix itself be compatible with it. Anyway, such is life. What are you going to do? I guess they could design a Matrix that could work with both. I don't know. I'm excited about the prospect. More of a baseball than a soccer ball. I get what you're saying scale-wise. The soccer ball mode looks like it could scale with Titans. It does look like it could scale with Titans. You're right. Oh, you're right. That'd be funny. Metroplex and Triptychon having a game of soccer. Countdown to April 1st. I know. I don't know if it's doing it at GameStop in the States or not. It's not GameStop here anymore. It's EB Games. It's back to being EB Games, and it's Canadian owned. So I don't know if it's happening in GameStop in the US, but I know that there's a countdown to for EB Games for April 1st. GameStop is slowly dying out in California. Well, you know the guy that owns GameStop in the US, like his MO is to tank businesses, right? And then he sells off everything they got. That's how he made his money. Do you remember Bed Bath & Beyond? Yeah. You know why that's gone? Because the same moron that owns GameStop owned that and ran it deliberately into the ground. That was his goal. By the way, he's a MAGA. Just so you know. Ice Pick is only one step. Ice Pick only needs to be one step. Volcanicus, Jazz. You need some money. Buddy, I always need money, I promise you. Jazz A, Jazz Warpath. That's my death set too. Yeah. Then on the news of GameStop, Bed Bath & Beyond is, but Bed Bath & Beyond is back. No, that's the problem. Bed Bath & Beyond is not back. It's only back in the States. Its international footprint is gone. Gone. What it did is it racked up a whole bunch of debt, declared bankruptcy and went under, sold everything off, and then somebody just bought the IP and started up again. It's how you scam yourself as a business and get yourself into a lot of trouble with debt, and then you don't pay any of it. You got to stop. You got to stop feeding the rich, man. It's time to eat them. Just saying. Bed Bath & Beyond was expensive, very, and that was deliberate. Okay, you guys were right. It was Jazz. Also, in season 4, Bulkhead was going to exit, and Ironhide was going to become a regular. Who knew? Let's do the unpackaging and get out of here. So you guys know that we just done animated Jazz. He is a beaut. Tomorrow is going to go back in time a little bit to Revenge of the Fallen. And we recently looked at Dune Runner, a scout class, and we have a couple of scout classes up and coming. But tomorrow, I'm going to take a caveat, if you will, from the scout classes, and we're going to take a real quick look at roll bar. This roll bar. This roll bar. It's not a throttle bot. It's not that cool version from. It's not that cool version from 2014, Age of Extinction. It's not even the Dune Runner repaint. It's this guy who was going to be used as an Optimus, I think, for like a BotCon or something. I could see it. It has this spring-loaded gimmick that on Maximal 10's copy was super tight. I was terrified I was going to break it. It works fine now, but it was like seized up or something over the years. I don't know. I like this, but would I ever go back in time and hunt this down? No, not in a million years. Now, I was going to do something different tonight for the unboxing for Tuesday's review, but then I was lucky enough to have something that's going to jump to the front of the line for Tuesday, and it's Outback. Yeah, I haven't even got it at a package yet. I do wish the shoulders were painted silver. Why do I have like a frog in my throat? I do wish the shoulders were painted silver. I might even do that. We'll see. I saw the wheelie. I saw it there. I don't like wheelie. I think it's too big. I don't like the toy accuracy. I was tempted to get it all the same, but I haven't yet. That's not to say I won't. But I feel like that one in particular could very much like I suspect eventually with Sea Spray, will get a repaint in animation colors. I'm okay with the Sea Spray being the lighter blue. I'm actually kind of cool with it. But the wheelie is just so different. That said, all of that said, seeing him on the shelf in package, he does look really good. He actually looks really good, and pictures and video do not do him justice. He actually looks really, really good. I got to give credit where credit is due. But I could not pass this guy up, so we will have a look at him. And that is it. That's the news. That's the trivia. Jazz it was. We'll do roll bar tomorrow, and then on Tuesday, yes, sir, we'll take a look at this lad. Since we've seen the transformation going from robot to vehicle, I will do the transformation in that video back from vehicle to robot. We'll certainly see him next to Braun, right? At the very least. Anyway, thanks for coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button. Stick around and have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget, man, not for a moment, not for a second, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I, as always, look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams right here on Wednesday nights this week at stop motion premieres, or of course the old-fashioned way inside the videos. Normally I would say now have a great weekend, but I guess have a great rest of the week. I won't see you guys tomorrow, but we'll be back here for that roll bar review on Friday. See you then.